Boo. This is Jerry Dine with How to Get Out of Babylon. Confucius say, prepare ahead. No. Confucius say, if you not, no man follow you, leave no tracks. That was an eye-opening one. That was right after Oklahoma City bullshit. This guy a friend of mine worked on the docks. He would go up to Thinking Rock, lived up in the mountains. And he was the orneriest. He was the orneriest person I've ever known in my life. He knew one guy was liberal and one guy was conservative, and he would walk up and sit down between them and across the table from him and ask a question that he knew would start a fight, and then just kind of mosey out of the picture and sit back and just laugh his ass off. He was a character. Thinking Rock. He had some really good sayings that came out of it. He'd go up there and sit and think, probably just grounding, touching the rock and just coming up with some deep, deep, deep sayings. If you don't want anybody following you, don't leave any tracks. Yep. A couple things, and I'm probably going to tie a couple things together. Two different topics. One is, because I got to get to bed, a lot of things going on. Okay, three things. Updates, moving advice, and cheap hacks. Okay? Not necessarily in that order. And since this thing is hot, I'm going to get it off. This is a cheap hack. Relatively. I've never seen these before. I've bought cases of suits. Tyvek, yes. These things. I bought a bunch of them one time. But this is electrostatic discharge fabric for working in factories. And this is red tag or red something. I'll show you in a minute. Very proud of their stuff and very well made. I mean, this is like a 3XL. So it's got two snaps. I don't know what this one's for. There's no way that can... Anyway, it can be buttoned down, but that one I don't know what it does. So anyway, nice pocket, big pockets on the side, and I don't need to be wearing it, but it looks pretty awesome. Confucius say, if you don't want to be spoken down to, get out of gutter. I like that one. I made that one up because of a situation. If you don't want me talking down to you, get out of the gutter. I'm sorry, I'm not in the gutter. So other ones like that, but I'm getting this off. All right, I am going to pause it. Alrighty, so cheap on Amazon. Look at it. I put links under with the video I did on grounding, earthing. $640 with shipping. They have the gall to charge you probably 6 times what it's worth and then charge you shipping on top of it. Bang. Okay, so sewing machines. We can do a lot with sewing machines. You can do a lot with Tyvek. We can do a lot with Tyvek for busy, I'll tell you. Grand freaking Central Station. Yeah, and that's what 11:33. California time, it ain't, 2 hours. It's only 9:30 there. I should be in bed before midnight. That ain't gonna happen. All right. Healing. So sewing machines, Tyvek, baby sacks, tents, teepees. One of the hacks I did, I have a 14-foot teepee, and there's a big empty floor at a schoolhouse, Kingdom School. And I laid plastic out. I'm anal. I'm Asperger's. I swept the floor really good. And then I like a clean workspace. And then I completely covered the entire floor with plastic. And then I laid a brand new, nice blue tarp out. And then I laid my teepee on top of that. And then I took a black magic marker and I went around the smoke flaps and around the teepee. Cut it out. And I later found it years and years later. I should still have it somewhere. But I found it under a truck, rotted, and it looked like my son had used it to tarp over a load driving somewhere. It was all, it didn't happen by just laying under the truck. It was all frayed, flapping in the wind type thing. Really sucked. But anyway, so I took that, and that's a pattern. Okay? And I took that pattern, and I laid it on top of Tyvek. And I made 14-foot Tyvek teepees. Cheap, great, efficient, neat, cool, small, light, tiny. They're too good. There's two things about them, and it's the same thing. They're really good because a 14-foot teepee, which fits in a suitcase, a big suitcase about 18 inches by 2 feet, probably 2 feet by 3 feet, let's say. 14-foot teepee, canvas, heavy canvas, boom. Easy 4 inches, could be crammed down to 3-inch tube, 1 foot long. That's really good. It's also really bad because from the time I made them, I have never, ever seen them again. They got put in a box, put in a bin, thrown in the trash. They're so light, somebody threw them out. Who knows? They shouldn't have disappeared like that, but they did. But then the pattern disappeared too. The swamp gurgled eventually, and it floated back to the top under the truck, and I found it. Anyway, cheap hacks, cheap hacks, cheap hacks. Okay. Golden Corral. Only restaurant I know for sure, but these are a disposable salt shaker. They have a plastic bottom. There's a little ring in there, inset, and the plastic bottom snaps into that. Now this one, sometimes they're really full, and this one was really, really full. Not a problem. The salt is poison anyway, so you get rid of it. It's good for, like, if you get blood on clothing, sheets, shirt, whatever, pants, put it in cold water, put a bunch of salt in there. So we do use it for that. That's about it. That's the only thing it's good for. So since I didn't care about the salt, I peeled the paper off, dropped it in some hot water, warm, water, let it sit for a minute. This went down enough, the height of the salt went down enough that I was able to push this. So, sometimes they're so full they're not. Now, sometimes you can kind of tap it to where the salt will go, to a 45-degree angle. Let's see, from you, like that, and it'll come down enough where you push on this, it'll flip. So what I do is I put my thumb on there, put my other thumb on there, and hold it in my hand and go pop. There's your bottom. And this one actually was tight enough. I initially started with a knife. A butter knife worked a lot better, but I was using a butcher knife, and I kind of gnarled this up a little bit. But you can do that too. You can actually bend this away and bend the casing out a little bit. And all I was doing was chewing this up, but not bending that out. But and I don't know if you can see the ring in there all the way around. This has a little edge that fits in there. You can see it against the black background. Okay. And you got a salt pipe. Salt inhaler. Okay. Inhale. I've done it before, but inhale through your mouth. Exhale through your nose. Inhale through your mouth. Exhale through your nose. I like gray Celtic salt, Portuguese salt. Pink Himalayan is good. I thought it was really dry. These are very moist salts. They have a lot of magnesium in them. Some Great Celtic seas. There's salt that comes from the Gulf of Mexico. No. What's that used to be called, the Gulf of Mexico? The Sea of Cortez. And it has a lot of magnesium in it. So magnesium is healing. That's why they take it out of salt. When it rains, it pours. Morton salt. When it rains, it pours, right? Well, when it rains, it pours means that when it's rainy out, when its humidity is high, The pot salt will still pour out of that little spout really nice and smooth. Why? Because it has no life in it. They have killed it. They've turned it into from something that life-giving to life-destroying poison. Okay? Magnesium heals. Magnesium heals the heart. Midwives know this. You know, if a woman has arrhythmia, if you have a problem with your heart, take a bunch of magnesium. It also softens your stool, makes you, go to the bathroom more. It's good for you all the way around, but it's a heart. Look at Dr. Circus, Sircus, in Bolivia or wherever he has to live to try to stay alive and stay out of the clutches of the American Nazi Association, the American Medical Association. True story. So, BTW, just a little bit of information. Look up toxicant. Look up blistering agents. Look up mustard gas. Look up the components of chemotherapy. And then look up each individual ingredient, and you will find out that it says in every case, toxicant. This used to be used in warfare, but now it's used in chemotherapy. Blistering agent. This used to be used in mustard gas in World War I, but now it's used in chemotherapy. What they were doing during World War II was two things. They're developing a way to kill people and do it slowly and make money doing it. Compare photographs of patients from Dachau, Auschwitz, and victims of chemotherapy. Oh, no, I got that backwards. Compare pictures of photographs of victims of concentration camps and patients of chemotherapy. Indistinguishable. Same results. So, rant over. The nice thing about this is, no matter what kind of salt you put in it, generally you can still, I can use it as a salt shaker. Great Celtic, Portuguese, Cia Cortez. I know, that stuff is so good. Barbecue something and just put nothing but salt on it. Ah, so awesome. Alright, so lives are changing. That's a cheap hack. The code is a cheap hack. Now I paid top dollar. That was brand new, and I paid $20 or something for it, which is more than I wanted to. But I wanted something that I wanted. The grounding thing is just so magically, mystically miraculous that I wanted to get one and get grounded. And then I found the 5, and I ended up getting 6. So 6 for $20. What was that? I said what it was because it worked out to $4.10 a piece. The same lady, whatever her name was, Alzinda or something like that. It's in the description underneath that one. Has a bid for 15 of them and a bid for 25 of them. Just do the math. Take what she wants for shipping. Subtract that. Well, take $4. I think $4 is fair. I paid $4 for mine. I might as well pay $4 for yours. You're buying more. If you buy 15 of those, you're buying 3 times more than I bought them. That I paid for. I got 6. It was a freebie. But $4 times 15. Do the math. $60. So subtract the $40 shipping and offer $20 on that bid. It says they all say make offer, and when they say make offer, I assume they mean it. It's not just there for. Now sometimes they're real stupid. They have it on there for whatever reason, but they won't take nothing less than what they got listed. So that's their problem. I just don't deal with them. But if it says make offer, I made offer, and I did, and she accepted the offer and threw in a freebie to boot. So $4 a piece. 2 of them $8. You got a grounding sleeping bag. Now, I Tour de France guy, and the concept of that bag was invented for Tour de France. They sleep in those bags every night when they are practicing, and probably year round. They know they're in peak condition year round. They train. They're either racing or training. Either way, they're stressing the hell out of their bodies. They even have to take drugs to keep from, keep winning. Yeah, whatever. But grounding really helps. It's healing. And one guy took a spill, ripped his shoulder open, and in a matter of one day, it was almost healed. It was well on its way to healing. You can see, just amazing. And another guy took a spill. This wasn't Courier France, but he took a spill, ripped his cheek open, and he laid by a negative ion generator. Same idea, negative electricity. And in a matter of one day, it was 3/4 healed. So, okay, so cheap stuff. The milk crate thing, I think I mentioned that, but I'm going to do that because I got some screenshots. I think I showed them. Yeah, okay. If it took. I don't know. I know I did it, but is it uploaded? And I can't really go back every time before I start talking. I can't go back and listen to the last week's videos, so I'm pretty sure I did it. If not, I'll cover it again. And I'm going to be repeating stuff. Okay, to moving. This is something that came up. I was talking to a sister. Already got this down. She went to get boxes to move. And said, I want apple boxes. They used apple boxes before. And the guy says, oh, you don't want apple boxes. You want banana boxes. Banana boxes have this big hole in the bottom. It's like, duh, fill the hole in. Cut a piece of cardboard. Get apple boxes and cut them up. Or whatever. Or the liners that the apples go in, those purple things, cardboard tubes. Put those in there. Put something in there. Heavy cardboard would be the best, because if you cut it exactly to fit, it would give you, if you're going to put heavy stuff in there, it'll reinforce it, and it spreads the weight. It's just like the treads for getting stuck in getting out of bog, getting unbogged. The treads or the cardboard, you're spreading the weight out. Boom. Good deal. Tops are open, so what? So put one on the top. Or I kind of like them because you can get in there. But here's the point. They're all exactly the same size. You can stack them, and I've seen it done. Friends of ours got this 20 years ago, got the message. They moved from Washington. They're obviously very smart and very well to do. They flew down here to Arkansas and Ozarks and chartered, whatever, a plane for a week or 2 weeks. I think it might have been 2 weeks. In that space they had already planned out and looked at from the air something on the order between 100 and 200 different farms. Eliminated, possible, no. Probably then drove around to look at them, bought 160 acres, paid cash, and when they moved, they had a semi full of banana boxes. You can stack them. And I was in their shop, their garage, and they were a pallet. You could tier them, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, interlock. You got 3 this way, 4 this way, 7, probably 7 tier, whatever the heck, I don't care. Probably 5. But you could stack them like 10, 12 high. Stable, level, perfectly the same exact size. Cannot do that with any other box in the world. So just note to self, put a note to yourself. Shannon says it probably needs Freon. Yeah, we'll try to do that. It's not going to stop. Right. No. Pushing 20 minutes, going to be done here quick. So, moving banana boxes. Make it happen. Pack, get loaded, start now. If you're going to do it, do it. Just don't mess around. Just make it happen. Nike, just do it. I packed. I knew I wanted out of the big city my whole life. I felt like a cage-trapped animal, wounded cage-trapped animal. And I packed and loaded into a storage unit for 4 years, from 93 to 97. I didn't know the banana box trick. My stuff was in orange boxes and apple boxes and blah, blah, blah. So.
New message is received from Sister Sue and Callie.
So anyway, that's a good idea, banana boxes. So, and plan ahead. Just get to packing. Check with people here. Check with me if I'm the only contact. But things that you have that you might want to get rid of, things that you might want to keep. Because I've had situations where, oh man, I got rid of this. You did? What? No, we need those. I brought my blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, we got 50 of those. I mean, case in point is like, you got to bring my wheat. I gotta buy a bucket a week. Do you have an idea how fast 1 bucket a week goes when you make bread or do anything with it? Plan it. I don't care. It's gone. A bucket of wheat is not that much. 20, 30, 40 buckets a week. That's cool. But here's the funny thing is, here's how Father does things. You know, there was a prepper that nearby that they stored some stuff at somebody's house, and they went away. And so there was like hundreds of bags and boxes and stuff, you know. So my friend of mine and I went in, and my family bought half, and he bought half. So we get 55-gallon drums and diatomaceous earth. And I mean, wheat will last basically forever with diatomaceous earth. Now, you're not going to be able to plant it because it abrades it down, but it's safe, and you can eat diatomaceous earth, no problem. There won't be any bugs in it. I hammered it with that. So we have, I don't know, you know, there were 200 bags, I believe, of wheat and different stuff. So we have that in storage. And here's the funny thing is, read the book Wheat Belly. You know, you stop eating wheat when you read that book, you know. So nobody in my family eats wheat. So, grandkids, I mean, nobody eats wheat. So we got all the wheat in storage. So you really don't need to bring a bucket of wheat. I can give you a bucket of wheat. Anyway, that's kind of funny. All right, that's it. This is Jerry Diamond. How to Get Out of Babylon. If you're listening to this, you damn well better listen. And hear. Not just listen, but hear. Hear me. Oh, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. I'm trying to give you some knowledge. So, without vision, the people perish. If you can't see well enough for yourself, let somebody else see for you. If you can't think well enough for yourself, let somebody else think for you. For 5 years. One time my son was telling me how good he was and how great he was, and he was worth $50 an hour, and, you know, 20, whatever. He said, let's say $50 an hour. And I said, well, if you're worth $50 an hour, I'm worth $200 an hour. Laugh, ha, ha, ha. You know, you don't make anything. And I said, well, someday people are gonna pay me to do their thinking for them. And very short time amount later, the guy stood in my living room and said, I got marketing, I understand sales, I know business, I got bookkeeping down, I need science, I need you to do my knowledge for me. Do your thinking for you? Yeah, that's what I did. And I did it. I gave him the business, the name of the business, the icon, the tuning elements, 2 tuning elements opposed. I did that, the name, the concept, the whole thing. It was based on somebody else's research, but you know, I had the knowledge. I had already done it about 4 years prior. Had already been building stuff, making, you know, frequency-based devices that would heal and balance your body. And so 5 years, you know, he paid me about $200 an hour, what it equated to for the amount of time I put in and the amount of money he paid me. And then he fired me and stole all that. And oddly enough, the planting Torah, you plant your trees, your fruit trees. You don't take any fruit up in the first tree. The 4th year, the fruit goes to Yahweh. The 5th year is a year that you can take part in that fruit. And this was the year that, you know, I should have, you know, the 4th year it should have been given to Yahweh, and the 5th year, you know, I should have been, the planter of the orchard should have been receiving the late fruits of his labor. He went to China multiple times. He went to Ecuador. He traveled all over the world. You know, $100 cigars. You know, $50 whatever, $100 cigar lighter, and you know, all this crap. Expensive, massively expensive restaurants, hotels, at my expense, on my knowledge and my research. And anyway, and I'm not, you know, it's just, that's what happened. It did, you know, like everything else that's happened in my life. The slingshot's going back, baby. You got fired, you got divorced, you know, like Joseph. Boom. And we're getting launched now. The launching is happening. So get excited, get involved, and take part, and be there, or be square, you know. Drive now or walk later. D now, D-N-O-W-L. See ya.